all of us to be together tonight, all across North America, talking about this really important topic, going from self-sabotage to self-care. So I'm really excited to be here, and I want to thank you so much for joining me and taking time out of your busy schedule to hopefully you're curling up with a nice cup of water or a cup of tea or maybe hot water with lemon to sit back and really dive into this topic, which is so important and connected to all of our health. So thanks again for being here. I'm going to share this screen, my screen with you guys so we can interact together. And I'll leave some time at the end for some questions, but feel free to comment. I'll see it in the chat box. And at the end, I would go through any questions and leave about 10 minutes in case there are some questions about my services or this webinar or any topic to do with health really that we're going to cover tonight. Okay. There we go. So it might take just 1 second to come up on your screen, and it might be blurry for a second, but it should really focus in a couple, maybe in about 10 seconds for you. But the important thing is that you can hear me, even if it takes your slide a minute to go into focus. But again, thanks. We're going to talk about self-sabotage, and we're going to talk about how to get from there to a place where self-care comes naturally to you. So let's start off. Who am I? I'm Dr. Glenna. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I'm the mom of 3 small kiddos, and I'm the creator of Optimal Health with Dr. Glenna, Slim Down with Dr. Glenna, and Dr. Glenna TV, as well as having my own private practice I'm in my 16th year of private practice. So what do? I listen, I coach, I support, I empower women with the tools to move any obstacles out of their way in their health so they can really find their best physical and mental health. And I believe that's important so we can live our very best life. So that's who I am. So how I got to where I am and how I was able to use my, kind of get into my passion and use my gifts to help women become their very best versions of them is that I first went into a science degree and I majored in human nutrition. And right away, I really wanted to find the answer to how to help people feel their best. Then I went into naturopathic medicine and I did a 4-year program there and then started practicing as a naturopathic doctor. So now I specialize in women's health and I use functional medicine. So that's basically lifestyle habits, nutrition, vitamins, minerals, and herbs to kind of optimize the function of the body. So as I said, I love to empower women with the tools because when we empower each other, then we can get on with our life and then we can start to live that life we want. And I completely understand how overwhelming and difficult that can be when we live busy lives. I myself have suffered from adrenal fatigue in the past and even small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. So it can happen to anyone, even naturopathic doctors. So do not beat yourself up. Okay, when we're busy, we put ourselves sometimes on the back burner, but tonight we're going to talk about how important it is to put yourself on the front burner. And I finally did that after some years of not feeling very good and realized, wait a second, I'm not supposed to feel this way. I'm supposed to show up with my very best so I can share my gifts and talents with other women. So I want to empower you to do the same. So tonight we're going to cover about how to say goodbye to self-sabotage behavior that's kind of holding you back. It might be keeping on extra pounds. It might be keeping you from sleeping well. Maybe it's causing fatigue in your life. It might even be causing chronic pain. It's very connected though. How we treat ourselves is very connected with our bowel function, anywhere from constipation to irritable bowel. So we're going to talk about that too. Then I'm going to go through some practical tips on starting to move past all that. We're going to also talk about mindset because I know going through my own health struggles in the past that it was a piece that I didn't know about. That was kind of the last piece that I figured out how to get whole health was the mindset piece. And I think if we don't acknowledge that piece, we're more susceptible to going back into illness over and over again until we realize how connected our thoughts are with our weight, our energy levels, how we treat ourselves, and how we take care of ourselves. So then we're going to talk about how to kind of get self-care into your life effortlessly. So first of all, saying goodbye to self-sabotage. So we have to start right here because if you're looking for any kind of weight loss or maybe you're looking to kind of heal digestive issues or balance your hormones, you've got to acknowledge that diets do not work. So a diet can really do damage physically and mentally. First of all, if it's too restrictive, what it will do is actually cause really intense cravings. Because if you're going too low in, say, fat or carbs, your body's going to start to crave it. and it will crave the last food that you had that gave you fat or carbs. So I'll give you an example. If you're low in fat that day, say if you're only ate 50% of the grams of fat that is healthy for you so that you can make enough hormones, etc., your body's going to say, get me some fat. If your food of the past was potato chips, unhealthy potato chips with trans fats, etc., your brain's going to say, get me the potato chips. If the last couple times you fed yourself walnuts or guacamole, your brain's going to say, get me more of that avocado. That's what gave me enough fat last time. Okay? So when you see somebody sitting at a food court enjoying like a chicken salad and they look like they're actually enjoying it, the chances are they are, because they probably even craved it. If it's a normal part of their diet, they're going to start to crave it. So it's not a matter of, oh, they've got more willpower than somebody who's sitting over there eating, a fast food burger from an unhealthy restaurant. It's probably because they had a salad a few days before that, and they have a few salads a week. So their body's used to saying, I want that chicken salad that you eat with enough protein, enough fat for me so that I'm satisfied and I get my fuel. So that's kind of how it happens. So be careful of any diets that are really restrictive, that don't give you any wiggle room to have your favorite treats or to kind of go off track a little bit, because when we get into that mentality of a diet, we really run the risk of going too low. And I have seen so many women in my practice in the 15 years, when they lost, say, 60 pounds on a really strict diet, they gained back 80. And when I asked questions, because I always love to know kind of the root cause of things, it was always the diet was very restrictive. Like, it was exact. They couldn't veer from it. And then once they lost the 60 pounds and their stressful time came up, bang, they went right off, and they didn't come off 20%. They came right off the diet they were on and actually were eating worse than they were before. So be leery of that. So we got to say goodbye to anything that's truly restrictive or that makes you feel really deprived. So we're going to talk about the cycle of deprivation. And if you understand this, you're going to be kind of red flags will go up when you start to go in that territory. So first of all, when you decide to restrict something, it might be going to bed too late. It might be maybe you have 3 glasses of wine night after night and you said, enough's enough. I'm not going to have any more. So you're going to restrict that. And you're going to kind of label wine as bad. Not going to have any, not even Saturday nights. So then you're going to have that in that section. Category is forbidden. Then you're going to maybe have a stressful day. You're going to have a really bad day, tired. And then eventually you're going to say, go to what's really tempting. And what's tempting is always the forbidden fruit. So bang, you're back. You're having your 3 glasses, and heck, why not have 4 or 5 that night, right? So then you go and say, oh my goodness, I really went off track. I blew it. I can't believe I did that. I've got no motivation. So boom, you go into the guilt and the shame, right? Because you went to 0 glasses. Your goal was no glasses because you wanted to lose that weight. You wanted to start sleeping better because alcohol inhibits our sleep pattern. So then you start the deprivation. And once we go into deprivation, we go right into punishing ourselves and start taking something away again. And then the cycle continues. And what's interesting is you can have a few different cycles going on at the same time. You might have 10 different cycles of deprivation. One might be getting off sugar. One might be going to bed on time. One might be starting to exercise. One might be you don't have your favorite fruit until you exercise. There can be so many things, and you have to be careful that you're not running the same patterns over and over again and trying to really get in there and break the cycles. And we're going to talk about how. So I love this quote by Brene Brown, an author, a really great author. When perfectionism is driving, a shame is riding shotgun, and fear is that annoying backseat driver. So basically, you cannot go for perfectionism in anything without having shame and fear. And shame and fear are not going to keep you on track, and they're not good for your health, and they're not good for your happiness. So whenever you start noticing you're going right into trying to do something perfect, pull back a little bit, especially when it comes to your health, because it's too much pressure, and we can relate that to so many areas of our life, but we're going to start to be shameful because we're not going to be able to be perfect. We're going to have this fear that we're going to mess up, and that's going to put more pressure on us. And that's not even, I'm not even talking right now, but the connection that will be on your thyroid and adrenals, putting that much pressure on yourself. We'll talk about that too in a couple slides. So another topic I want to talk about within saying goodbye to self-sabotage is the belief that self-care is selfish. I'd love to know how many of you on here tonight feel that guilt when you do something that is caring for yourself. It might be investing in yourself. It might be spending time in your closet, organizing your stuff. It might be buying that favorite dress you want. It might be soaking your feet, taking a hot bath, taking an afternoon or a day for yourself when you've got lots of people around you that depend on you, want to spend time with you, or depend on you for certain things in their week. So your thoughts become your beliefs, which become expressed through your behavior, which then creates your life. So basically our thoughts turn into our beliefs. They become expressed through our behavior, which creates our life. So it all comes back to our thoughts and what's going on up here. So we're going to talk a little bit about rewiring that if you do in fact feel selfish or guilty when you do something for yourself. Because without self-care, you can't achieve whole wellness. You cannot get there if you avoid self-care, or if you want to try to work your way to it without doing any self-care. It's impossible, because you're not kind of honoring the major tools that you're given. Your mind and your body will take you where you want to go, where your spirit wants to go. And if we don't take care of our mind by increasing our intelligence and awareness and empowering ourselves through things like webinars such as this, and take care of our body by feeding it, there's no way we can get to where we want to go. And that might be being a good mom. That might be being an amazing hairdresser. It might be being a speaker. It might be a healer. It might mean being a great wife or friend, or just using your gifts. Maybe you're a gardener or an artist. It doesn't matter. We all have our own gifts. But in order to reach that and to feel really fulfilled, we've got to take care of the body that we do have. Here are some tips. We're going to go through. There's 4 that I want to focus on. It's first, plan. Second one is feed yourself like you love yourself. We'll go through these in a little bit more depth. Step by step, not perfection. It's not 0 to 100. It's step by step. And 4 fundamental components of health: sleep, good food, water, and movement. Those 4. So first one, plan. So in the last 15 years, I have not had one patient that was able to tackle the lifestyle change they wanted to get the outcome of healing from a health issue. That was their goal. Not one was able to do that without a plan in place. Whenever we didn't set a plan in place, or they felt they could just go off and see how it worked, it did not work. When there was a plan set in place, that's when success will happen. And as you go along, this doesn't mean you need a plan forever. It's more, what I saw was women around 4 to 6 months after they were on a plan, boom, it then became their lifestyle. So there was no plan needed, because the plan became their lifestyle naturally. And a week plan, 2 weeks plan was never enough. It was more a few months. And that plan gets loosened up each month to eventually there's not even guidelines, because it's just a lifestyle. So that's a really important one. If you are wanting to tackle something like energy, depression, anything, may have a plan, either yourself or doing things like webinars to really empower yourself to gather as much information as you can and then make the plan. And I wanted to put this statistic in here to remind me to share it with you. Only 5% of people who attend webinars, this is a stat, actually put the information in place. But my wish for you tonight is that you will be in that 5%, or that 95% of the individuals listening to this will put this into action. So second one is feed yourself like you love yourself. Okay? So I want you to ask yourself, do I treat myself like I'm my best friend? Do I treat myself as well as I treat my best friend? And if you truly care about your body and your mind, would you wake up, grab a cup of coffee, put 4 tablespoons of sugar in there, put way too much cream in there, and grab, say, a sugary muffin, and then expect yourself to go 10 hours after that? Whether you've got kids, a job, you volunteer, or you help, or you're a caregiver, whatever. Imagine doing that and then expecting that much of yourself and wondering why you're crashing and tired and craving sugar throughout the day. So reverse that and think, you wake up, you give yourself, maybe it's steel-cut oats with maple syrup and blueberries on it, and you take 5 minutes to prepare it. Or maybe you make a high-protein smoothie with a nice protein powder in there, hemp seeds, frozen berries, almond milk, a little bit of avocado, whatever, and really look at it like, I want to feed myself. And don't even focus on, am I going to treat myself Saturday night or not? It's more about your day-to-day things. Don't focus on that little bit where you want to treat yourself or you go out for a glass of wine. It's more day-to-day. Do you feed yourself like you love yourself? The next one is step-by-step. So absolutely, say your goal is to start going to bed at 10:30 at night, right? You now go to bed at 1. And I do have patients that we've taken from 1 a.m. to 10:30. So you want to start going to bed at 10:30 because you know it's supportive for your adrenals and your thyroid, and you'll feel so much better the next day. So step by step. So instead of going 10:30 tonight, what I mean by step would be I'm doing 12:30 for about 4 nights. Then I'm going to do 12. Then I'm going to do 11:30. Then I'm going to get down. So the time you get down to 10:30, but don't expect perfection. If one night a week you slip up and go to bed at midnight, that's okay. You still changed. Your normal bedtime is now 10:30 with a night here or there where you stay up later. So look at it that way rather than, oh, I stayed up till midnight. Oh, I just blew it. And as soon as you have that attitude, the next night you're probably going to stay up till midnight or 1. Reframe it in your mind and be like, wow, 6 nights, my average bedtime decreased. I had 1 night, I enjoyed it, whatever. But most of the nights this week, I went to bed at a really healthy bedtime. So again, don't look for that perfection. Okay, now we're going to cover the last area of how to kind of transition to self-care. These 4, sleep. Absolutely. If your sleep is not in a great place now, you've got to do something. You've got to see a licensed healthcare practitioner. You've got to change your diet because sleep is really the foundation to everything else. When we're tired, we don't eat as well. We don't feel as well. Our mind doesn't think as well. So really look at sleep, and whether it's you're reaching out to somebody for help or you're going to put some really good sleep routines in place, like blackout blinds, like supporting yourself with magnesium, something that really relaxes us, not having coffee after noontime. If you're somebody that doesn't have wonderful sleep, get the caffeine out after noon. So do a few things to really help. Reading, meditating for 10 minutes, giving your body those signals for sleep. Second one is food. If you have skin issues, bowel issues, weight issues, hormonal issues, don't ask why if you're eating a ton of sugar and alcohol, okay? First, change those foods. Give yourself about 3 to 6 months, and you will be shocked at the changes you'll see in skin, bowel, hormone, and weight is just a side effect. That will balance itself out. But really think about don't look at what you need to take out, but really start building in good nutrition, whole foods. Next one is water. So this is a big one. We got to have the water jug around us all the time. So you take your pounds, your weight in pounds, multiply by 0.55, divide by 8, and that's the number of cups you should really be drinking a day. Okay? And once you start to drink water, yes, you will be running to the bathroom, but your body starts to absorb it more after 14, 21 days. At first, it's not used to having this much water, so it will be going through you. But be patient. By 3 weeks, you're going to notice that you don't run to the bathroom as much, and it's because your body and your cells are absorbing it. And once you start drinking water, you'll start craving water. I've seen it so many times in my practice where people that always say, I don't get thirsty. They're always the ones that don't drink. They drink 0 to 1 cups a day. My patients that drink 2 liters a day, they say, oh, I'm thirsty all the time. And it's truly because their thirst mechanism is alive and well. Their brain will give them the signal. Once the signal is ignored for so long, the brain will not keep giving that signal. Fourth one is movement. Not only to burn calories and to build muscle, which are 2 important things, but also to help us detox. We got to move things around. We're always making exogenous and endogenous toxins, and we got to keep them moving. Our body's prepared to deal with toxins. We got to support it, though, in that mechanism. So we want to detox hormones all the time, excess hormones that we've used or byproducts of hormones. We want to move our lymphatic system. And the way to move it, we need water for our lymphatics, which is basically our garbage collector. It collects all the garbage in the world, in our body. And we got to move. We got to pump that lymph, right? We don't have a pump for our lymph except for our muscles. We got to contract them. And it keeps our circulation going. So those 4 things, just always think, how's my sleep? Am I drinking my water? Am I eating pretty good most of the time? And then am I moving? Am I moving somewhat? Am I moving every day? Or am I moving at least 3 to 4 times a week for that 45 minutes? Okay, this is the fun part, the mindset piece for success in whatever your health goals are. So your nervous system is guided by your thoughts. And your nervous system, I mean all those nerves, right down our spine. Absolutely. So our nervous system is a physical thing, and our thoughts are like an energy substance. So they're connected. And I'm going to stay with me here. So our nervous system affects our adrenal glands and our thyroid glands, right? Because when we're thinking of that scary thought of, oh, what's going to happen when my 15-year-old turns 18 and they go out into the world and they don't know what they're doing and they can't balance a bank book, or say we're thinking something that's scaring us. Our body doesn't know we're not actually living that. Our body's getting the message that that's happening right now. So we're going to make adrenaline and cortisol. We're going to get our heart rate up, our blood pressure up, right? We're going to start collecting the blood in our midsection to our vital organs, and our hands start getting cold. And we get a little bit less blood flow in our brain. So we get a little foggy, cloudy, don't think straight. Our feet start getting cold because all the blood's going here, right? Because we're in fight or flight. So that's hard on the adrenals and the thyroid because they're pumping out their hormones, right? And if it's going on, if you're a natural warrior, you're in fight or flight. Maybe every minute you're awake, and maybe during the night you are too. And that wear and tear, that allostatic load that's on your body will do wear and tear inside. You might already be seeing the effects right now of fatigue, brain fog, can't sleep, wired and tired. So hormone secretion is absolutely dictated by our thoughts, because our thoughts tell our nervous system what's going on around us, right? We see it, and then our brain tells the body what's going on, so we start thinking about that. And our hormone secretion. So if we're making tons of stress hormones, they're getting shunted from progesterone and estrogen into stress hormones. So then we become deficient in our wonderful progesterone, which helps us deal with hot flashes. That keeps prevents us from retaining water. That helps us stay happy and relax. That's progesterone. It's a relaxant, a muscle relaxant, right? That's why we make so much in pregnancy, and everything relaxes. But if we need all that for these stress hormones, we keep converting our wonderful reproductive hormones that give us energy, libido, keep our skin elastic, things like that. We keep shuttling them to stress hormones, so then we're deficient. So that's how it kind of can affect the hormone balance. Bowel function, absolutely. A few ways. We have so many nerves in our gut. It's called our second brain now. That's the nickname in science, okay? Because there's so many nerve receptors. So our bowel is just listening to what the nervous system is saying. The other thing is our stress hormones kill our good bugs. It's been shown that cortisol kills good bugs over time. So then we create this dysbiosis, an imbalance of good and bad bugs. So we're better hosts to pathogenic bugs. So we get more candida, fungal infections, yeast infections, small intestine bacterial overgrowths, etc., when we're living in this high state of stress. And remember, we're worrying about what might happen in 3 years. It hasn't even happened. And look what we're doing to our system. The other one is the ability for the immune system to make more white blood cells. And white blood cells kill viruses and bacteria. So when we're in that state of stress, we're suppressing that immune system. We're saying, it's not too important if I get a cold right now. I need to worry about that event that's going to happen in 3 years. And basically, the body thinks you're running from the bear. So the immune system gets suppressed, so you're not able to fight things as well. And then your immune system either stays suppressed or starts to become overactive, and that's an autoimmune condition. The last one is, I picked this one because so many people have sleep problems. The secretion of melatonin. When we're stressed and the bear is chasing us, or we're worrying about that event in 3 years, we are inhibiting our melatonin. Our pineal gland gets the message, it's not safe to sleep, which is ridiculous, isn't it? But that's how we're kind of set up for survival. We don't want to sleep when we're in stress. We got to stay awake. We got to protect, right? We got to look after the baby. We got to do whatever it is. So it's a protection mechanism. And because we have that, RCMP, nurses, so many people can stay awake when they need to and help us because they're getting that message to the pineal gland. Don't make melatonin now. When we do that too long, though, we can really alter our circadian rhythm, right? Short term, it's okay, here and there. But if we're worrying long term, or even if we have night shifts long term, it's something that can be altered. It can be helped too by supplementing melatonin. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a few questions because I want you to check in with yourself. Do you feel guilty when you nap? You lay down, and so many people, when I say, do you ever nap? I'll ask my clients, and they say, oh, no. Like it's something to be ashamed of. And I'm actually asking, hoping they're going to say yes, so I can check that one off and go, okay, they take care of themselves. They'll do a 20-minute nap when they're tired. But most of my clients will say, no. Like it's something to be embarrassed of. Do you feel guilty when you treat yourself to your favorite food? Are you able to go to that restaurant and say, I am so excited to eat this carrot cake. I've been waiting for 2 weeks to just sit down here, enjoy myself. Or are you kind of a little bit embarrassed? Maybe you're pretending you're only going to eat half and you're not really enjoying it. Each bite you take, you're thinking, oh, I should stop now. Do you feel guilty when you take time for your, say, your clothing, or, and I'm using clothing, closet, jewelry, because women love that so much, but maybe it's your artwork, maybe it's your gardening, maybe it's you decorated your house, whatever it is. Do you feel guilty? Or are you able to just fully embrace it when you spend that time? Do you feel guilty when you invest in yourself? When you say, I need this course, like you're investing time right now into yourself, which is awesome. But when you do take time for yourself, do you have a little tinge of guilt, a little voice in the background going, do you really need that? You know, do you really need to read that self-help book, et cetera, et cetera? Do you feel guilty when you take an entire day off work or household chores and just do nothing? And this doesn't mean you're flying down south. This is in your own home. Can you do that every once in a while and just go, I'm not doing anything today, and not feel guilty? So if you feel guilty, when I asked you a few of these, the question is, who do you feel guilty towards? Is it you? Is it somebody in the back of your head, like a little voice or something like that? And who in your life do you think doesn't want you to be doing self-care? Is there somebody, or is it you? Is it inside you, and it's you that doesn't think you deserve it? And right now, we're rewiring your beliefs. As we're asking these questions, and you're asking yourself these questions, maybe jot the answer down, you're actually digging deep and breaking it down. And when you're giving that attention to it, you're rewiring it. Okay, so when we dig down, like I said, we're going to rewire these beliefs. Where did the belief that you're only worthy if you're working hard rather than just relaxing and enjoying the day come from? You want to look. Was I 20? Was I 15? Was I 30? Was I 5? Was I 3? See if you can remember how far back it went. Maybe you've had that belief as long as you can remember. You know, if I'm tired and I'm exhausted at the end of the day, I can give myself a pat on the back. I deserve that glass of wine, or I deserve that piece of cake because I've worked so hard all day, right? But what if you didn't work that hard all day? Are you still deserving of that? That's the question you want to ask. And look and see, where did you get that belief from? Was there somebody in your life that had that belief? Somebody you looked up to, somebody, a friend, a relative, a parent, a teacher that had that belief that you took on. And the biggest question is, how did it serve you? Maybe it got you to a position in your career where you are right now, which is a benefit. But the second part of that is, does it harm you more than it's helping you? Has it held you back in any area of your life, like happiness, or has it hurt your health? And are you now struggling with a health condition because of that belief that you have to go, 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 go? That's what you want to ask. And if there's more harm there than benefit, then it might be time to let it go. And maybe 20 years ago, you would have said it gave me more benefit than harm now. But right now, is it harming you a little bit more? And is it time to just get rid of that belief and replace it with another belief that I want to honor my body through self-care so that I can live my best life? Rewire the belief and write it down in one sentence. So in summary, restrictive extreme diets will hurt your mental and physical health and will not get you to your goals. Sustainable goals, it won't keep you there. You might get there for a month, but it's going to be really hard to stay there. Self-care is essential for whole health. Absolutely. If you neglect self-care, it's going to show up with gaps in your health. Absolutely. Good sleep, good food, water, and movement. Those are the 4 major components of health. They're the foundation. Don't try to build your health without having that foundation there. And it doesn't have to be extreme. It doesn't have to be absolutely strictly with just nutritious food. You don't have to be out running marathons. And if you're not hitting your 9 glasses of water a day, every day, maybe you're getting 6 some days, that's okay. But if you'd rate yourself at 75% out of those 4, you're going to be moving towards health rather than disease. Replacing negative self-talk using positive messages. And remembering that our thoughts really do affect our health. And be able to replace them with positive messaging, like the event that's happening in 3 years, everything's going to work itself out. Everything will be okay. right? Will help to regulate your hormones. You'll get yourself out of hormonal balance when you combine taking the stress away, the negative thoughts, using our 4 components of health we discussed, putting in some self-care, and never doing anything restrictive or extreme. You're also going to help your sleep. You're going to help your metabolism and your energy. So just imagine, we talked about this, craving healthy fat and healthy meals the majority of the time, rather than continuously craving sugar at breakfast, lunch, supper, every single night. Craving water, imagine. And it is great. And I find the more I drink, the more I'm like, I just want some water. And I know you guys can relate to the times in your life where you were really good to drink that water, you wanted more water. Losing those extra pounds without feeling deprived or hungry. And maybe you are a healthy weight, but you want to change the body composition. Or you just want to eat more healthy, right? You want to do that without feeling deprived, though. Having a really good restorative healing sleep and feeling lighter physically and mentally. And you may have 20 pounds to lose, you may have 60 pounds to lose, you may have 5 pounds to lose. But when we're eating well and we're feeling good, we feel physically lighter, whether the scale changes or not. So the question is, are you ready to move past those obstacles that you may have put in your life or that you're letting stay there and you're not looking for a way to move past them? Right now, I'm giving you some great tools, and I really hope you're taking some things home from this today, whether you're jotting them down or you're just absorbing them up here. And are you ready to start nourishing your mind and body? I know you've probably tried diets before, but diets truly don't work. They will never work. What you need is a plan. And a good plan always allows for some wiggle room, for some treats, your favorite treats, and some healthy treats too, to keep you on track so that you're not craving that chocolate cake every 24 hours. So are you ready to say goodbye? This is the big one, to guilt, shame, and deprivation, finally. So I want to talk, I give you a few little tools here in the webinar, and I want to give you one of my tools. I do online programs, and my 6-week slim down. I did a 3-week in June. I'm doing a 6-week slim down starting next week. And it's a wellness program for women who are looking to have more energy, lose some extra weight, better sleep, better digestion, balancing those hormones to help with PMS, hot flashes, perimenopause, etc. Mood swings. What's included in this is we do a prep week. So we kind of start next Tuesday it starts. We start talking about water. We start talking about how much water and how to calculate your water. Your sleep. We're going to talk about exercise, and we start mentally prepping. Then I give you a grocery list and recipes and a meal plan for every single week. So you have a week though to just kind of warm up. And then Monday after that, I think it's the 10th, we start the meal plan. So we have a warm-up week, then we're going to have 5 weeks of meal plans with recipes and grocery lists that correspond with them. And we will be doing this together. There'll be opportunities to ask questions daily in our private Facebook group for any questions that come up, or maybe just to say, hey, I'm having trouble with this, or I don't feel good, it's day 2. Is this normal? Whatever the questions are, all the questions come up, and they're awesome, and it helps everybody. I'm going to share with you my top supplements for sleep and hormones, etc., and what really works, and a couple little checklists so that you know what to keep an eye out for in your health. And I'm going to give you direct access to the private Facebook group for accountability, support, and to be in a group of like-minded women. And that's where all the fun is. So in every week, I'll do 3 live videos within this group to motivate you, to keep you on track, and to keep guiding you throughout this program. Because although the side effect might be weight loss, we're balancing hormones, we're detoxing, we're getting our sleep on track, we're reducing inflammation, right? And we're retraining those taste buds, and we're nourishing ourselves too. So body and mind, the brain needs so much nutrition too. So the regular investment for the 6-week slim down is $199. For you ladies who have joined me tonight, it's a $50 savings. I'm going to keep that on for 24 hours. So if you're interested in this, it starts next Tuesday. So if you are interested in this, don't wait. The link will be open for you guys for $149, which is crazy, no brainer, to join. And again, the prep week will start next Tuesday. So let's see in our chat. Awesome. So my VA, Jamie, has posted the link here. So if you click on that, it would tell you the details. If you want to know what the slim down, 6-week slim down is all about, when it starts, etc. And if you'd like to register, just do so within 24 hours to make sure you get that savings, okay? And then after that, it will bump up to the $199. And I'll be opening it up to everybody else tomorrow night at the $199 price. So I'll be announcing that, opening the cart for videos tomorrow night. So consider this my gentle nudge to begin your shift today. So, and be sure, I'll send you the link that Jamie just posted here, but I'll send that also to your email, but it might go into your junk or your spam folders. Always peek in there, or you can just click on this link right now. Okay, and to finish, basically the slim down is, I get this asked a lot, who is it for? It's for anyone looking to join a group of like-minded women in a kind of a fun, supportive, and private group. So everybody in the group will be going through the same meal plan. So we'll be really holding each other accountable. I will be holding you accountable. I will be motivating you every step along the way, which I love to do. And if you're ready to lose some excess weight, not feeling deprived, and start a healthy self-care routine that will balance your hormones, improve your energy, balance your digestion, it's perfect for you. And basically, if you're ready to transform your health, I have seen women I would say the average in 4 pounds, in the 4 weeks, by 4 weeks, the average is about 10 pounds. But what I really get excited about is women are telling me their energy's better. Their menopause is better. Their hot flashes are better. They're sleeping better. I think that's the one women are most grateful for when they do my wellness program, is having really good sleep. And then they feel energized the next day to work, but to exercise too. And they go to work feeling way more productive and focused. So I've gotten some testimonials, and these two ladies, I'd like to share theirs with you. Dawn, the beautiful redhead on the top of the screen, she was normally sleeping every night, napping every night, but on the program, it absolutely disappeared. She was nap-free, energy right to the end of the day, which is one thing she really enjoyed when she did the program. She's done it a few times with me. And Judy, she's done amazing. She was a sugar addict. And yes, I've had a lot of sugar addicts do my online programs, and they were pretty scary starting out. But by day 4, day 5, they were so happy that sugar wasn't taking over their life anymore. So Judy had hypoglycemia, so her energy would dip. So she had to manage that all day long for years. Completely went. The hypoglycemia, she moved past that. Besides losing lots of weight, she had so many health benefits. And this was only 4 weeks into the program, but she's gone on continuing using the recipes, and she's lost over 50 pounds, which is super exciting. And she loved the topics on thyroid, stress, sleep, how much salt, is salt good or bad, information I put in my live videos. So, and she says here, I feel like I was thrown a lifeline, which makes me smile. That's exactly why I do this. So be sure to check your inbox for your savings today. Your link is here, but again, it's in our chat. So just click on chat and you'll see it. Are we able to connect with you during the course? Of course, so many questions. So during the course, during the 6 weeks, I will be on live multiple times, and you will post any questions you have in our private Facebook group, and I will daily be checking the questions. And I love to answer them in the group, because there's always more women that have the same question. There's never been a question that was asked in the group, and I've been doing this 1.5 years, that was not asked before, or that one of my clients hadn't asked me. You know, we are all dealing with the same things, and we're all looking to move past them. So doing it together is so natural, and it makes it so much more fun. And I find women are so much more accountable when we're in a group together. So any questions that come up throughout the 6 weeks, for sure, that's the direct access. And if it's anything kind of a little bit private, women can email me too. If it's a little bit more private, they don't want to have it in the group. But yes. So thanks for that question. Are there any other questions? There. Feel free to ask me, or after this too, please feel free to message me with a question. Will it help people that have ailments? Yes, I've had, I don't always know all the ailments the clients have that run through the program, but I have had at least 8 bad diabetics that were insulin dependent. And I know 3 of them that had told me that they were on metformin and insulin, and they were off 100%, working with their doctor. Right? I always said, ask your doctor, because I wasn't seeing them in person and treating them, but their doctor let them wean down. And it only took this one particular, she is about 40 years old. She took about 2 months. It was pretty quick. She got on the program and she's still off. And that was it was over 1 year ago, and she's still off insulin and metformin, which is exciting. So yes, I've had diabetics. I always encourage them. I give them a little bit extra care and remind them that if they're on insulin, to not go without the snacks in the meal plan, because I put snacks in. So I always like when people tell me their ailments, I give them little tips during the program. So awesome question. Thank you. And hypoglycemia, I've had tons of women with hypoglycemia too, which were really nervous to go through it. But that was a pretty quick, once we stabilized their blood sugar, they weren't dealing with that anymore. So awesome question. Any other questions? These are two really, really good questions. Thanks for asking them. Yeah, and I'll think about any of the questions, but definitely the questions that come up in 6 weeks. I love answering questions with women. They're always great questions. And we have lots of fun and chats in the group. We going through supplements. Yes, I talk about the basic supplements like for gut health, hormone health, weight loss, sleep, because I find so important for women to know the basic supplements that they can use and that are safe to use. And I give kind of the range of safe doses so that they can, if they want to start something themselves, I always encourage start at this dose first. This is what you can go up to. And yeah, we do talk a little bit about supplements, all my favorite ones that I've used in the last 15 years that I know are safe to use for women to kind of self-prescribe themselves and that they will see a nice benefit with. And I let them know the good quality companies too, because there's some companies out there that aren't such great quality. So it's important to really know what you're taking and know that where you're putting your money into is going to work, that you're actually going to get the 200 milligrams of magnesium that it says on the label and no fillers, etc. So yeah, awesome question. Okay, let's see if there's another one here. Any more questions, feel free. They're wonderful questions. And what else can I think of? The food on there, I get this question a lot. Is the food good? What if I don't like vegetables? I've had people really not like vegetables. So what we did was more of a flex. So they looked at the meal plan and thought, ew, I really don't like that food Friday at lunchtime. And that's okay. They took their Monday lunch that they really liked, made extra, or used the leftovers for Friday, right? They froze them and then used them. So the meals on the meal plan can be moved around if there's certain things you're sensitive to, allergic to, or just really don't like. I encourage people to try things once or twice, but if they do and they don't like it, they can just pick another meal that they really like. And the meal plan is balanced in macronutrients, but you can move the days around no problem. And I'm just making sure there's lots of nutrients in there and balance, but you can move the days around, the meals around, you can skip a meal and use another one. So that's a common question I get once the program starts. Just wondering about someone that is in the existing group that will end late in September. Oh, yeah, I'm going to message you guys in the wellness program that I'm running. Carolyn, thank you so much for asking that. And yes, I will let you guys know how you're going to transition into that for sure. And you can just kind of be included in both because you've been working with me since June in this 3-month program. So yeah, great question. Thank you so much. Because I think it's going to be great. We had so much fun in June doing the 3-week one. It would buy like this, and it was, I think you'll agree, Carolyn, it was so much fun, and women did so amazing that I think it's going to just be even better in the fall, because after having summer and barbecues, everybody wants to get on track and feel better, right? Right after that Labor Day, it's like, let's dive in. Everybody's craving salads and healthy food and drinking water and getting rid of the barbecues and the hot dogs, and right? So we're ready to move past that. So I think it's going to be very fun. Good questions. Anybody else? Feel free to ask me anything about the program at all, or any, who can go into the program, etc. But I want to, again, thank you guys. Congratulations for taking this kind of step and just setting aside the half an hour to really dive deeper in again, because a lot of the times our health issues or sleep issues and weight issues are really tied to self-care, and we're kind of ignoring the self-care part because we weren't taught how important it was to care for ourselves. And it's not a selfish thing at all, right? The better we feel, the more we can give to others and share our talents, and the happier we are, right? And who wants to hang out with us when we're tired, irritable, not feeling well? We're not too fun to hang out with, but when we're feeling great, taking care of ourselves, we're like a magnet, right? For positive energy, and that's going to just inspire others. So it's absolutely not selfish, and I think it's a responsibility we have. So awesome questions. So if there's anything else, just let me know. If you do see the link, that's the link for you guys for the $50 off. That will be on until tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So take advantage of it tonight if you want to. Carolyn, I'll message you right now after I jump off the call to let you know. Is there an exercise plan? There's not a specific one, but we do talk about exercise, and I give guidelines about what the amount of time and things like that. And I kind of also match up the meal plan with how much you're exercising. So if someone's exercising, for example, over an hour a day, I have a form that I share with you that it's like, have 2 servings of 2 meals. if you are exercising that much. If you're not exercising at all, do not go over this meal plan if you want to see results. But we talk about how much exercise to do, moderation, and I have some links to some videos too that I share with the group. So another good question. You guys are covering all the questions. It's awesome. Okay. Anything else? One more minute to ask anything that comes that's on the tip of your tongue. And I assure you, if you're thinking about it, somebody else is thinking about it too. And yeah, if you have friends that you want to kind of join in the program, I will be opening it up for everybody else tomorrow at the regular price of $199. So feel free. I'll do a live video tomorrow and you can share that with your friends. If you have a sister, a lot of people really want their sisters to benefit. Once they've done my program, they want to share it with their friends, their colleagues and sisters. And it's fun to do it in little groups within our bigger group. Women have a lot of fun sharing the recipes. Or even sometimes one person will cook Monday's meal and they'll share it Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday they kind of take it into work and share it, or if it's just sisters down the road. So it's pretty fun like that. Okay, well, I think that's it. Thanks again. Congratulations for jumping on. Thanks for the questions. Just message me privately if you want to for any other questions you have, and hopefully I will see you in the Slim Down that starts next Tuesday. But don't wait, you guys have your link. Okay, take care. Bye.